Hello, and welcome to Trail Chats. I'm your host, Autumn King. Today, we are trekking and chatting with Rowena Brown, Councilmember at Large. Come along with us as we search for white butterflies. So it's been good thus far. A little chilly today, but not so bad.
Not so bad.
So we are here with Councilmember at Large, Rowena Brown. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for being here with me today. I appreciate that. How does your Oakland story begin?
Wow. To tell a story about me, I have to talk about my family. So that would start with my dad. My dad was actually one of 13.
Okay.
Originally from Plainview, Texas, Southeast Texas. And my great uncle was actually the first to come to California. And he was the first to own a home in East Oakland.
Okay.
Right on Olive and 79th, right by Arroyo Viejo Park.
Uh-huh.
So he was the first of the family to come. And then eventually my dad and his siblings all came.
All 13?
All 13.
Okay.
Right? 2 sets of twins in there. My dad, grew up, actually, he ended up growing up in Richmond, and then met my mom at community college, culinary school.
Okay.
And then eventually, I'm the youngest. I have 2 older brothers.
Okay.
And it's just really an interesting story. Like,
So have you all always been in the East Bay?
Always been in the East Bay. And like, the truth is, like, a lot of people ask me, like, Rowena, like, where did you grow up? All over, right? Like I went to preschool and kindergarten in San Francisco, Chinatown. Went to 1st through 3rd grade in Richmond.
Okay.
And then for a period of time, I was homeschooled.
Okay.
And then ended up going to Laney College for high school. You know how you could do the homeschool / community college?
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit of my educational story.
Uh-huh.
But to know me is to know that, basically the reason why I moved around a lot is because by the time I was 11 months, my mom actually went missing. And so then my dad ended up going into the military. Mm-hmm. And so my auntie took care of me and my brothers. And every weekend she would drop us off Friday, 6 o'clock at my uncle's house, East Oakland. Okay. So from the time I was a baby until 3rd grade, that was the routine. That was the routine. And so, grew up playing in Arroyo Viejo Park, walking to Eastmont Mall. Not solo though.
I was gonna say, I hope your cousins was with you.
Cousins and my brothers, 2 older brothers. So, right. I was good.
Right.
And also in line, if you would.
I like that.
Yeah.
So always been in the East Bay, mm-hmm. And always had a connection to Oakland, specifically through East Oakland.
Yeah.
What made you choose to live, work, and play here in Oakland? Once you got your degree, once you moved on and you were ready for the real world, you could have gone to any of these cities.
Yeah.
What made Oakland your spot?
That's really, thank you for asking that. So ultimately, right before I was about to graduate high school, my dad passed away. And so it was because of my friends and my church family. They said, hey, Rowena, come live with us. And so they lived right by Kaiser, Oakland.
Okay.
And so that was really when I kind of was like, wow, you know what? Like, Oakland is feeling like home, right? And to know me is that from the time I was 12, I always knew that I didn't have the language for it, but I always knew that I was like queer, something. I knew something was a little bit different about me.
Right.
And Oakland was just this home for me where I could really find my belonging and just find community, right? And so at a time, I'm sure maybe you've lost someone that you really love. And so at that time, just really being here in Oakland, it's exactly what I needed. And also at the same time, so after my dad passed away, I ended up just kind of going into the workforce. And so I ended up going to a trade school to learn how to be an optician.
Okay.
Right. So you know how when you go and you get your glasses,
yeah.
I was that person that helped you. Right. And so I did that for 7 years. Right. Trust me. I also think that my eyeglass style is pretty cool too. And I probably got about 25 pairs of glasses. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So basically, I spent 7 years working for this innovative optical retail company. They ended up sending me all across the United States on leadership trainings.
Yeah.
And so it was really so while my peers were off going to college, I'm working in this amazing, innovative space, honing in on my leadership skills.
Yeah.
Ended up getting recruited to work for Kaiser in their optical.
Okay.
And it was an interesting experience. So Oakland Kaiser, right? So I'm there, I'm okay, this seems okay, the pay's good. But then eventually, and you know how sometimes when you kind of lose the people that you care the most about, sometimes you're just kind of stuck in this mode of okay, I'm just trying to make it.
Just trying to survive.
Right, just trying to make it.
Which is different from thriving.
Right, you're just hey, I'm just trying to make it. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved the job that I was doing. It allowed me to travel and all of these things. But then eventually there was this point where I said to myself, well, actually, Rowena, what's something that you've always wanted to do? What do you really want to do? And so then I was you know what? I want to go back to school. And so I enrolled into Laney College.
Okay.
Ended up taking
further rooting you in Oakland.
Right.
Right.
And so enrolled into Laney College, took my first political science course. And it was really kind of in that moment, as I'm connecting with my classmates, I find out they have a lot of shared experiences as me, right? I talk about, my mom, right?
Yeah.
She went missing when I was just 11 months. We wouldn't find out what happened to her. My dad was in the military when he got home. He ended up getting discharged because he was really sick. And then once he kind of got things together, he ended up getting incarcerated for a time, right? And then my brother also kind of dealt with those same things. And I would go visit different family members and, they would be the communities that we lived in, right? Not clean, blighted properties, right? Folks losing their homes, all of these things. And I would talk to other people and they're my pops is incarcerated too. I don't know my mom. And I just really begin to think why are things like that? Yeah. And so kept taking more courses in political science. I got to go and do a study abroad in China. Okay. And so from that, and so when I studied abroad in China, I was studying governmental systems and how they work. And so when I came back, I enrolled into Mills College.
Further rooting in Oakland.
Right. I love to say that I actually received most of my higher education right here in town. Yeah. Right. And then I think it's beautiful too, because there's a lot of Oakland grown folks that are teaching in these colleges.
That's exactly why I keep underscoring it every time you say it, because again, that shows the fabric. Yep. It shows the roots, and it lets you know the intellect and the eloquence that we have around us to learn from and with.
One of the first classes that I actually took at Laney College was this course called the Black Panther Party Strategies for Organizing the People, and it was taught by Erica Huggins.
And you get into class and you sit down and you're this is the Erica Huggins,
right? And so one of the projects she has, so cool, one of the projects she had us do was to think of something in your neighborhood that you would want to improve. Yeah. And so we all got to present on these projects. And so one thing that me and my group, we created a senior center that had transportation, provided groceries. Nice. Right. And then other folks created affordable housing. Right. And so it's really. So
I clearly see where you get the foundation for why you ran for office and why you are now our city's at-large council member representing the entire city, not just one
Zone.
area, one district, but you are at large, meaning that you represent all of us. And so I can see now the history, starting as a baby in East Oakland every weekend with Uncle, through going to college, living by Kaiser, so that's North Oakland, coming back down. You're in downtown for Chinatown near Laney. You are truly rooted in Oakland.
Absolutely.
How about we walk some more,
Let's
chat
do it.
some more? I've got a lot of questions based on the things you talked about just
All right,
now.
let's do it.
Let's keep walking.
Awesome.
I'm interested a little bit if you're open. Yeah, you're a mother. I did not realize
It's so calming.
It's very calming, very calming. So you touched on some big things. We were talking about your upbringing, your roots, and how Oakland has shaped you. It makes it pretty clear to me why you went into local government. Can you tell me briefly what was that last spark? What was that last thing? Was there a straw break in a camel's back moment, an epiphany moment that made you say, I can and want to lead my city by being an elected official? Was there one moment?
I think it's really a collection of moments, to be quite honest. Yeah, that's such a good question. I think there was a collection of moments. And when you end up working for an elected official, you're in the work. You're doing the work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I found myself being able to work and solve so many complex problems.
Yeah.
You know, I used to work in Oakland City Hall, went to law school, started working in the legislature, and we're working on these big issues that not only help improve the lives of Oaklanders, but throughout the state of California. And so I was doing that. But I think the part that really helped push me actually had more to do with confidence, right? Confidence that, like, Rowena, you have good ideas. You have good ideas, you're smart, you care for the right reasons, right? And then also this other piece around, like, hey, like, people will be motivated by your story, where you've come from, and the type of impact that you're trying to make. So just do it. And then I think there's also this other piece too, that, like, when you're interested in, I'm the type of person that when I'm interested in something, I'm not just gonna be like, hey, I'm running for president, no experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, put myself in these places and spaces so that I can learn from others.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And so literally for about a decade before I even got to 2024,
Right.
I was in those spaces.
Learning. Sucking it up.
Right.
Okay, but you also chose, because you can motivate people, you can tell your story from behind the scenes. You put yourself out there. Elected officials put themselves out there. How do you maintain the balance and well-being of your mental and physical and emotional health?
Well, I mean, I focus on, this is a big job of trying to, like, help change the lives of others, right, in a positive way. So I just try to focus on that, not take myself too seriously. And then I guess is maybe just like a balance between, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I care a whole lot about my work. And also, I'm human. Like, I don't know.
And maybe I made it too broad or too big. Specifically speaking, I feel that we in Western culture don't speak enough about maintaining and our mental and emotional well-being.
Oh, for sure.
We don't, I think in the Black American community, we don't do well about talking about and approaching our mental and emotional well-being and health. And so I just want to be blunt and ask, you are juggling a great deal. in the public eye, and you're working on behalf of the people. What do you do for Rowena Brown's mental and emotional stability and well-being? How do you pour into you?
Yeah, I hope that, the beautiful thing is that I've kind of had certain practices already in the mix. So I'm not starting from scratch, right? As a youngster, my auntie had us going to therapy, right? So I actually started really young. And then even in difficult moments of my life, that's always been a practice of mine. So I kind of have that as a foundation. And I know that that's probably that's rare. Right. And then along with that, when I was a student at Mills, I got into two things. And it was actually courses that I took when I was at Mills College, yoga, and I took an intro to meditation class. And so those are all foundational things that are a part of my everyday. And it's just needed because you got to be able to let things go, because otherwise you're just going to be holding on to a lot of stuff.
And I appreciate you being willing to share that. I feel like we need to destigmatize the conversations and make them as normal as possible. Just the same way that we're talking about your everyday job and what you're eating, and talking about how we maintain and approach our mental health and well-being, especially as Black women, I feel is just key. Okay, physically, what are you doing to get out physically and keep yourself going?
So that is an opportunity because, I'm in all these committee meetings, I'm on these boards and commissions, right?
Pastries and...
Well, that don't really get me that much, but it's more like, I'm not able, my schedule is not 100% my own. And so I have to really, I'm only 6 months in. So I think that I'm still trying to get creative about being more active. So lately I've been into kickboxing. I've been taking some kickboxing classes.
I did that a few years ago. It's kind of fun.
Love to walk the lake. Love going on hikes like this, but just got to do more. And then are you into about the Aura rings?
I've got my biometric ring too.
There we go. So that has actually been helping me know oh wow, you barely moved today, let's do something different tomorrow.
But then I also be fighting with mine, I know I move more than this.
I don't second guess it.
Oh my gosh, you have to. Okay,
I'm this is what it is. Let's
clearly we need to walk somewhere so we can talk about AI. No, you need to second guess it, or else.
Okay, deal.
Okay, let's just walk and see if we can get you to second guess your.
All right.
Or maybe I should not. Maybe I should stop second guessing mine.
Because are you feeling like you're not getting all the steps, or what's
No, I feel like I'm getting cheated. I've done more work than I'm getting credit for.
That's interesting.
Okay, let's keep talking. Let's see. Because I mean, what I'm saying to you is sometimes I feel I've walked more and I don't get my credit. That's funny. And that's what I mean by credit. Because clearly I'm wearing it for the medal of it all.
I mean, let's hope that I don't know if it's right.
I need an A+. I need a star.
I'm always getting the crown. You know what I'm talking about?
100%. But yes, I need those. I need those.
That was I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm the youngest.
After you.
That
was an instinctual. I know under the bus. This has been some really good conversation. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I've learned a lot about who you are. I've learned a lot about why you do what you do. What are we thinking for the future? What do you see? What is your vision for the city of Oakland?
Wow, I love that question. My vision for Oakland is, I'm only 6 months in, and so right now we just passed the budget.
Yeah.
I just got to be in a leadership role for my very first budget, and so I'm really just trying to learn all that I can so that I can actually make, help create change here in the city. That was a part of my promise, right? And I really, when I think about Oakland, I really think that we can create a city where everyone is thriving. not just downtown, but like I'm fully, you heard my story around like where I spent all my weekends as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Deep East Oakland.
Yep.
And so I want to, you know, create like an East Oakland, you know, Eastmont Town Center. Like, what would it look like if we reactivate like that entire space? It's already on its way with the Black
Cultural Zone.
With the Black Cultural Zone.
And
So we love to see it, right? And so ultimately, I just really want to create an Oakland where, you know, maybe like Oakland could be like a model for other places.
It already is.
Right? But really like, hey, how did y'all were struggling with public safety. How'd you do it?
And that's what I'm saying to you. It already is.
Yeah.
Let's take it to the next level.
Exactly.
I hear what you're saying.
And then I think the other thing that I've really been saying consistently, I think that we're at a new time, like with leadership within the city of Oakland, right? You got new council members. We're all working well together. We got a new mayor. It is a dream come true to be working with with Barbara Lee, right? Like I've known her since I was right. Like I've known her since I was a little girl, and to be like, I was just on a panel with her, and so it's just been like so amazing to be able to really like watch and learn from her, and then even for her to say, hey Rowena, so tell us what was written into the budget, and here I am sharing out like, okay, well, we did this, we're doing this for small businesses, we're doing this for you know cultural districts here in the city of Oakland, and so I can't help but like I'm always grateful. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to serve, and so you know. The future, my future, it's...
Tell me about your future as at large.
Yeah.
Usually when council members are chatting with me about their district, it's easy to, not easy, but it's you know, it's now
focused.
It's small, it's focused. What is your vision for your position as at large, taking care of all of us?
Yeah, I mean, I first off, I think of it like a partnership, right? So whether we're talking about District 1, hey, how can I work and support you with your constituency, right? And so I really want to do that across with every single council member. But then, you know, I've witnessed in the past where, you know, some of my colleagues, they haven't been able to get things across the finish line, right? And really show up and advocate for areas of our city that have been underinvested in. And so I want to be that. I got you, right? Like I'm here to support you, right? And so I really think of the role like that. And I also think of my role, you know, we're having worked at the state level. I also think of my role as like, hey, what is happening at the state level? How can I be a good advocate and continue those relationships? Across, you know, one of the things that I studied in school was governmental systems and how they work. And so I've always been interested in like, hey, how does local government interact with the county? How are we interacting with the state and at the federal level? And so that's something that I'm like, I think of it like a wheel. We just really got to get it to turn for the benefit of, you know, Oaklanders.
And local government is really where we can see change. I tell folks all the time that you can get frustrated at the federal level without a doubt. You feel lost. You can sometimes feel not completely on solid ground at the state level, but local government, being able to have this conversation with you. Now you know me, you got my phone number and I've got yours. We can talk in a different way. We can approach issues in a different way. And I appreciate your openness to that. I see that you are one who is looking to listen to the community, partner with nonprofit organizations, partner with individuals to move things forward. I appreciate that about you. Thank you for serving us in that way.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as just being a really good listener.
Well, let's keep walking and talking some more, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
All right. I will say the butterfly conversation that you brought up is ridiculously interesting to me. I do believe that our ancestors, those that have gone before us, are here, that they show up in different ways and watch and let us know that they are present. I've never heard that about butterflies.
Yeah, and it was kind of one of those moments, like it's always, like whenever it pops up, I always like to think to myself, like, oh, what were you just thinking? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing in this moment? And I don't know, like, it's like, I see them